Yeah, speaking of people trying to cause their own destruction.
Oh, this is definitely manufactured. We need to talk about this, guys, because there's very few places where anybody has tied this together, and there's a lot of, especially with like independent media and everything. Like, I've tried to raise the alarm. I even, back when I would listen to Tim a lot, I even sent him a super chat about this, and I was like, hey, look up into this because this is a thing. And Ian's just like, well, why is the government getting involved in this? This should be. I was like, you mother, why? You just literally memory hold the whole thing. But back then, this was almost a year ago that I was raising that alarm, and a lot of us were. Let's get into this whole thing. Now, BBC wrote this 5 hours ago. They say that there are 2 banks that have collapsed, but there are 5, essentially. Okay. Of course, you got the Silicon Valley Bank and the Swiss Bank that we all know about, and there are 3 others. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, they're collapsing because the bonds they're lending out more money that they have, and people are trying to call it all in, and they don't have the money anymore because they give it away to everybody, like millions of dollars to Black Lives Matter and things like that. Which is why SVB went down. What was it? They gave like something almost 50 million to Black Lives Matter or something. So they didn't have it. They didn't have money when it called it in. But yeah, I want to bring this up and kind of highlight this because number one, I also want to show you guys something really funny. I'm just gonna bring this back real quick to kind of let this be a surprise to you all. The director and head of investment banking technology and strategic programs of Credit Suisse. You cannot sit there and tell me that this is not an umbrella shit anymore with this. You cannot convince me in any way. This dude came out as trans after this happened. After Credit Suisse started to go down, he's like, I'm trans now. Yeah, you can't blame me for any of this. Seriously? Yeah. Tell me that this isn't an umbrella catch-all thing anymore, all right? You're not going to be able to convince me.
Side note, why does he look like wax? Like, he looks like he's made of wax in that photo. Like, I don't know if it's...
Hold on, let me bring it back. You're right.
It's very strange. It's like Uncanny Valley. Like, you look like you're not real. Oh, he looks like animatronic. He looks
like he's wearing a fat suit. Like that, nothing is moving but his lips.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know. Like, again, Uncanny Valley. Why is it?
I don't even know.
I'm not trying to make fun of the way he looks or anything, but it's just like he looks like he's not a real person. He's made of wax.
I'm gonna do it because, dude, it's just like the dude in Canada, that shop teacher in Canada. He was gonna get fired, and then all of a sudden he started wearing those Z-cup breasts in the classrooms and everything, and then turns out, yeah, the dude did it just because he didn't want to get fired, and now he's got a lawsuit going, which he's gonna win, by the way. And I called that out. Huh?
I don't know, like, because the only thing we have to really, for sure, okay, aside from the more recent information, the only thing we had to go off of on that one was like one 4chan post, and I was like, I'm not gonna believe one 4chan post. No, thank you.
God, no.
But then they like caught those like images of him, and I sat there and I like pulled up both images and I compared them to be like, because he was saying like, that's not me. I won't tell you who it is, but it's not me. And I'm like, bro, it's totally you. Like, it looks like you would look without the hair and the makeup and all of that.
But I did call it for you, and you were trying to argue with me. I was just like, no, this is fake. This is fake. And you're like, no, I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no. I was like, no, this is fake.
Because I try very hard to reserve skepticism and just be like, okay, like, because like also I don't think it's not a great tactic either way. Like, if maybe he's just trying to save his own ass basically, but if he was trying to like troll I'm like, okay, can you like not involve children either way? Like, no, thank you. Like that was where I was at with it. But like, I don't know. Somebody asked this. Hey Ashley, even though you're not liberal anymore, would you consider yourself alternative? Yes, I still have my piercings. I like my purple hair. I like my emo punk music that I've listened to for the past 15 freaking years. That's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm just like an emo kid all grown up. So
the little startup video that we still got to get like reactions and things for the show. The little startup video, I sent her like a whole bunch of like, I tried to get into like an emo kind of phase kind of thing, like rock emo. And I'm just like, okay, here's what I found. And I sent her like 4 different ones. And she's like, I want this one. And I was just like, all right, okay. I got you.
Like the song is, yeah, it's still very much who I am. But anyway, back to the banking crises.
Yeah. The reason why I wanted to bring up this now, guys, because of this, again, you're not going to convince me in any way that this isn't that this isn't planned. Especially seeing as how nobody is bringing this up, probably because nobody cares. Executive Order 14067, ensuring responsible development of digital assets. Now, I'm going to link this for y'all to read on your own here because it's a long one. Basically, what this is oh, wait. I'm not even paying attention to Rumble. Well, Mark Ryan's on Rumble too. Don't forget to follow Ashley's main account. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. What this is this puts us on a global digital currency that the U.S. has full control over. And if you don't play ball, you're a threat to U.S. interest. Okay. This was this was signed by Biden on March 9th of 2022. And this is what I was saying. You know, I sent that message to Tim Pool and he's like, I told him to look up Executive Order 14067, gave a little bit of rundown about it. And he's like, well, what's that? And he has Ian look it up. And Ian's like, why is the government getting involved in this? And I'm like, this is your job, sir. What are y'all doing? But yeah, I wanted to bring this up because it goes through a whole long list of it. But one thing I really want to highlight in this is Section 7, actions to limit illicit finance and associated national security risks. Because like I said, if you don't play ball, you're a threat to U.S. interest. Okay. Digital assets have facilitated sophisticated cybercrime related financial networks and activity, including through ransomware activity, aka what about that pipeline that was shut down from the ransomware attack that they paid out $5 million in cryptocurrency? Like 5 million? Who does that when you shut down a fifth of a country? What? Anyway, the growing use of digital assets and financial activity heightens risk of crimes such as money laundering. Oh, Ukraine. Terrorist and proliferation financing. The truckers in Canada were terrorists. Anybody that doesn't go along with this woke BS, we're all terrorists. The dude who got mad because his daughter was SA'd in the bathroom, he's a terrorist. Mm-hmm. What about the farms being bought in each country that are not being used as farms? I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, if you got anything about it, let me know, Roger. Oh, by the way, we also do have an email. I need to bring that up as well. But we also do have an email. I'm going to grab that real quick while I'm thinking about it because I will not remember.
Yeah, I also have the Gmail over connected to the YouTube too. So if you guys ever want us to look at anything or any stories or anything, you can totally email me or Drunken or just the Off-Label podcast emails. I think we got a couple emails going on. So, but
yeah, because
title it like Off-Label topic or something like that if you send it to me so that it stands out in my inbox because I get a lot of emails. So.
Where was it? Give me a second, guys. Yeah. Submission. Contact group. Where was that? Oh, yeah, here it is. Custom alias. Copy. Look, there's so much in Start Mail right now. It's just kind of really weird. But yeah, the off-label email is that one right there. If you guys find anything, definitely, Roger, please send an email to that one. I'll look up into it. But yeah, it was where was I? Such as money laundering, terrorism, proliferate, fraud and theft schemes, and corruption. Corruption, huh? Wait. How many was it? 73, both Republicans and Democrats got rich right before the lockdowns because they knew the lockdowns were coming and switched a lot of their stocks and bonds around for that. Yeah. These illicit activities highlight the need for ongoing scrutiny of the use of digital assets, the extent to which technological innovation may impact such activities, and exploration of opportunities to mitigate these risks through regulation, supervision, public-private engagement, oversight, and law enforcement. Okay, full stop. Y'all remember when they were trying to flag... let me bring this back. Y'all remember when they were trying to flag your account for $600 or more, whether it was incoming or outgoing? Do y'all remember that? And then everybody raised such a fuss, and they're like, nah, we can't do that because apparently there is a legal issue with that. Well, if they have full control over your funds, there's no longer a legal issue with any of it. They can track it, they can shut it down, they can do whatever they want. If they feel you as a threat to U.S. interests because you don't want to play ball with this, guess what? Money gone. You're going to be like the truckers in Canada or the Russian people because somehow they were involved with their government invading Ukraine. I'll never understand that.
Well, I think somebody kind of like it's like the social credit score. Yeah, here we go, Mark. So card declined, social credit score too low. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Also, if you guys didn't know, Mark Ryan has a YouTube channel. You should go check it out. I was on his channel not too long ago. He's cool people, so. But yeah, no, like I don't know. We're just giving too much control away, in my opinion. The federal government in and of itself was never meant to be this large, and it's just gotten out of hand at this point. And it's like, how do you even dial that back? It would take a whole lot, and I don't know if it would even happen at this point without like some major ish going down that I don't think anybody wants.
I'm already on board for it. I know it was a bad thing, but it's still going to be a bad thing. The things we're going to have to see. I don't see any way out of it other than this now, because as much as people are actually starting to see what's happening and they're just like, we're in danger here, there's not enough of them yet. And there's Temple is the whole Civil War guy, and World War III trends all the time. I see it this way. Civil War is already happening, whether you guys like to admit it or not. It's already happening. It's an informational war kind of thing. And it's even gone kinetic in some points. Like the dude who got shot and took 2 to the chest because he was wearing a Trump hat. How about David Dorn, who was killed for trying to protect his businesses from Black Lives Matter? The Black Lives Matter people who tried to burn down the White House because they were told the president was racist. We're already there.
Yeah, or the kid who
January
got
6th.
I'm sorry. I'm blanking on that kid's name, that 17-year-old who was ran over by somebody because he was a Republican.
Yeah, I forget his name too.
Yeah, which I feel really bad about. I'm not the greatest with like remembering names sometimes, but yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, we're already in that Civil War territory. Okay. The Civil War just didn't somebody wake up and just say, let's revolt. No, it didn't happen. That built up for years. Okay. The way I see it, and it's not going to be like a South versus North kind of thing. We're not going to be marching lockstep with each other and firing muskets. If the government has their way, we are. But that's not going to be a thing. It's not going to be like neighbor versus neighbor situation. No, it's... I'll look at it this way. We're going to have a very short-lived civil war that will be kinetic until one side says, help us, government. The government says, okay. And then they start firebombing and destroying everything. And then that side's going to be like, but you were supposed to help us. And then the other side's going to be like, we fucking told you, but you didn't want to listen. So then we're going to move into a somewhat revolution because they're going to be like, maybe you have a point. We still hate you, but we want to live. And then the revolution is going to spark the World War III, and then we're going to have a big thing on our hands here.
I mean, I think
that's the way I look at it.
I think World War III is a lot closer, actually, than any type of like civil war. And like, I don't know. I have a lot of theories about how that would look, but I do agree with you. I think we're in the kind of pre-stages almost of it with the information war and the culture war and stuff like that.
It's got it. Johnny got it.
A lot of stuff going on. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly kind of what I think. What's interesting is just the way that we're kind of set up now is like all the major cities are, obviously blue, and then a lot of the rural areas are red. And then how does that pan out? Like, comparatively, when you're talking about just like the North and the South, that was a pretty clearly defined, but this is like a completely different scenario where everybody's just kind of mixed up, and you got the biggest cities, and I don't know, it's just one of those things when you actually just think about it, it would look completely different. And I don't know, something interesting to ponder, I think, but hopefully we don't come anywhere near that. I would not like to go through that or have my kids go through that in their lifetime.
I don't either, but it's like the fourth turning situation. It's the fourth turning situation. Every 80 years there's something horrible that just sparks a big revolution. It's the whole thought process behind that is, weak men create hard times create strong men create weak times. That situation, it's just a cyclic, it's a cycle of BS we all go through, and we are the weak men that lead into the hard times. Well, we've been there for a minute now, but it is creating the strong men that are standing up and just being like, nah, we ain't doing this. And I do mean men as far as like humankind. Don't shut up. But anyway, we are doing this, and we're starting to see the fourth turning actually start happening. What happened 80 years ago? Well, wasn't it World War I? No, hold on. 40, no, that was almost 80 years ago. It was World War II, the start of World War II. Where
we're coming up on it, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking about everything starting to boil over roughly around the year of 2028. We're seeing, it's like boiling water, or boiling anything. You got the bubbles popping up, and you got to turn down the heat because it's too hot. That kind of situation. We're already to that point, and it's just a little bit longer till that it boils over. And the digital currency thing is just another part of that, because once people start realizing, hey, I can't get cash. Everything has to be done on a tracked system that they monitor to the very penny, because you didn't want $600 to be tracked. Now we monitor every penny that happens. And if we want to, you're a terrorist, you don't get nothing.
Well, what's interesting about that too is I think that, if they did really try to switch to completely digital currency, I think we would end up in a situation where people would start like trading their services with one another. Like, I don't think that would, because it's frustrating because people have already brought up the concerns of like, well, you wouldn't be able to like do any of like the, I don't know, like garage sales and stuff like that, like those types of transactions that aren't known about, quote unquote, by like the government, by Big Brother. But I think in the end it would end up, people would kind of start like, or again, like trading their services. Like, I don't know, like I'm a plumber, you're an electrician, I need work done, you need work done, kind of do that type of thing. And it could apply to all kinds of different things. But yeah, like I'm not a fan of that. I don't think it's a good idea. And I think people tend to do things out of convenience a lot. So like, a lot of people will see this as convenient. Like, oh, I can just, I never have to carry cash. I have my card everywhere and blah, blah, blah. But they don't think about the negative aspects of all this stuff. It's just a very like one kind of direction with like blinders on, like, oh, it'll just be nice and convenient. Yay. Like, okay, well, there's a whole lot of other problems that come from this too.
Yeah. Put your blinders on and walk because you don't want to see on the sides.
Yeah, for sure.
But Crash, I noticed that you are in Ashley's chat, and this isn't coming up there. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that they're on their third prime minister that nobody actually voted for. Welcome to America, because 2020 wasn't the only thing I questioned anymore. Anyway, and Justin sent a little 990. You're awesome.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
he's talking to you because he ain't talking to me.